So we go back to the Varaha, and let's just explore the symbols a little bit more. We'll roll through this. So there's the boar. This is Vishnu, accompanied by two Devis. That's the classical Hindu symbol. There's the Devi close up. We see the shroud, the brow. Just go to the details. I'll show you a comparative image in a moment. There's the eye, the nose, the mouth, the brow, and the shroud. That's the depiction. Let's compare it to another classical icon. Does anyone recognize that? Kind of looks like that. So when I said that the shrouded face is the face of the Devi, the goddess, the mother, in the Orthodox Christian, it's also the case. The shroud, the child, it's all there. It's right there. The person emits the sound. They make the call. Mother Nature responds. The interaction is happening. The camera's recording it. It's as real as you and me. And just moving through. So back here. So again, final look at this image. And one of a number of images in my collection. I wanted to say that image has a mirror symmetry to it, and the Madonna image also has a mirror symmetry because the original was produced in verse. This is how the original appeared. And to resolve it, all I needed to do was invert it. So the mirror phenomena of photography is depicted through two examples. And now another photo. And here we have more breath condensation organized into very intelligent design. And a classical Greek figure, Chiron, the teacher of Achilles, the instructor of the heroes. Chiron with a staff. And I'm saying that in the photograph I see hooves here. I see a pair of hooves holding a staff like that. Chiron, the horseman, the centaur, like that. The pause button is hidden in the face. The Chiron appears here, the arm is here holding the staff, and the hooves are a dead giveaway. It's Chiron. Chiron and the staff, but there's more to it than that. There's a bird in the head of the bird itself. Did I say there was a bird here? There is a bird. Well, let's look at this. This is the bird facing, looking back, so to speak, against, looking back against the grain. There's the outline of a bird, and then there's the skull of a raptor. The raptor has, again, key archetypal or iconic significance because I see the eye of Horus. Here, we see the eye? We can see the eye there? And we can see, the beak, the nostril, but it's the skull of the raptor. You see, Horus has to journey through the underworld, which means he has to die and come back to life. He's a living, he's an entity who can go to the world of the dead and return. To find Osiris in the underworld, Horus has to enter the underworld. He loses an eye. Which eye does he lose? He loses the left eye. Well, we can see the raptor has also got an absent left eye. The left eye. It's clearly depicted in the photo. It's the eye of Horus. And there's more. The caduceus, symbol of medicine, shows us a winged figure on the top of the staff. These sinusoidal curves of these serpentine forms here. Just as we see them here, there's clearly depicted sinusoidal curvatures along the staff and the avian figure at the top of the staff. It's entirely recognizable as a caduceus form. And then a final look at the human physiology in yoga and the comparison of the images. We know the third eye, the sixth chakra, is here. And the staff of Chiron from our earlier image is also relevant because we can see that the staff depicts the Sushumna, or the central meridian of the human body, along which the Kundalini ascends. The teacher who teaches about the ascent, the path, in other words, the path of progress, the path of spiritual progress, the one who gives instruction on that, and who talks about the point of intersection here. We can see that in a fancy way, I've paired the eye, the third eye, with that cross. The cross, this is from the ancient Greek. This is the pre-Christian symbol of Chiron, but he's talking about the same thing because the point of intersection, in Christianity, God is on the cross. Isn't that the case? God is depicted on the cross. The intersection of consciousness and energy in yoga is where we discover God as well, that intersection of the 2 points. And of course, the 6th chakra for mystics and initiates is where the consciousness is that's the launching pad for the final journey into the higher spirituality, like the nirvanas and the samadhis. We encounter the supreme. At that point, we feel that our identity is here, and then lastly, it moves to here. So this location here, we can align the symbols quite clearly, unmistakable to a yogi that all these symbols are tied together. One is photographic, the other one is ancient artwork, and the other is a depiction of the subtle physiology of the chakras. And so a close-up of the bird again. An unmistakable image, I think, Bhavatam Kevalam mantra. There's more birds in this image here. In fact, I see the birth of Athena from the forehead of Zeus in the classical depiction here. And bear with me, you'll see multiple versions of this, but this is the Athena figure with the shroud again, and the forehead of Zeus here. The left eye is distorted, as in the Horus image. Again, the left eye is highlighted by its absence in that figure. The birth of the goddess Sophia, beginning of philosophy, or the beginning of knowledge. Athena is the goddess of knowledge. The birth of knowledge, the opening of the third eye. Here's the Zeus figure, the mouth, the nose, and the eye depicted there. And just a few different renderings. Here's a close-up of the birds, very easy to see. Like a classical Egyptian Bennu bird, the crane, even with the feather coming out the head. Just go back to your classical images. Another bird form here, like a Coast Salish type of form, and a third bird here. Rhiannon in the Welsh tradition, the goddess Rhiannon, who is like the Welsh Isis, whose husband dies, and she, again, involves a journey to the underworld, just like the story of Osiris. The Welsh Rhiannon is accompanied by 3 birds in that tradition as well. So these pan-cultural symbols appearing in singular images. We're accessing the Greek, we're accessing the Welsh, all these threads. Really what we're seeing is what the artist depicted in the wild. We're encountering the original source conceptually in the wild, in nature, with a camera. This is the experience of our ancient ancestors. Why did they depict these forms? It's because this is what they were envisioning. This is what they were experiencing, and I can say that because it's happening today. The cameras witness to my testimony that I'm having these encounters through these practices, and I'm accessing the ancient icons and recording them. And again, just another look. So we see like a Marian figure in recline. And if I mirror the image, we get a bizarre form which has more complexity we won't go into today. Here's a winged figure with a rider on board. You can see, again, the cooked beak, unmistakable, raptor type beak, feathered wings, and the form of the rider here. Vamana is the dwarf incarnation of Vishnu. And again, the classical depictions of Vishnu riding on Garuda, the eagle, are rife in South Asian symbolism.